Into bwairire happy Friday ayo gotoka nkwania mugondonde lakini natete gukwanire topic. I've been waiting gukwanire topic. Umugaso nyara na chegalime nara this is the time. By the way nkole mande ko baro kindo mugondoga ntete simekerina gumbwaterina waira kabere ntete nsimeke chinsaga nege sare korusinde chinyanya narusie kabichi natogora chinsaga narusire nchukubeko botunko bahora kinde menya kuruororo nsimeke bintebi mutinyo yobono yokalenga bonoto mutinyo nane nimbwate September no October November ngocha ku harvest iga amachuma n'amasasi bali muri New Jersey karibu kabeta yale inchemba onelina. I am hoping mnango soka lirubya sana elinde ngoni tali ngambo sangu chakuba elinde ngoni bono lero ndete ukwanira igoro y'amachuma ali amenyetega iga America. This is a big concern na andi butambe ngutaka gukwanira agase menyete tindi gutaka gukwanira amachuma Kenya because timenyete Kenya andre na mumenyete indete nkwanire bali tomenyete ma nabasacha baitoma ebintu mbiroro narorire nando umuntu ore willing to learn also tagete ko learn amachuma inchotegerere video ye. If you find yourself in one of these categories bakikora ncheli genchera werusi in this situation, because very soon you are going to find yourself in a bad situation. Wono ga iga America ntobate crisis yabasacha crisis yabasacha igere nkongu sana igere a system against yabasacha a system yegere structured against yabasacha abamwamu black men. One kerora an immigrant, it is double. Back in the day kero slavery yabe attended tianda ruschibuti chibuti chimete ngakombata chinchibege tegalimo da ruschibuti ekero slave trade ya erete abamwamu bagacha bakaba freed iga America bakabekwa ngabamenye buna kawaida bona abamwamu abambacha agete komenye buna kawaida. But there is a form of slavery erega America asaba mwamu etaraera ekorokwe welfare system. A system where what they do abasongo, in fact what they do, they come in the name of helping single mothers. Obacha agete kare nganyo goteto eguchi program gete chi program chire set for single mothers. Igobono eminetina okore everything yoseli musacha kurunyomba alafu kero kwa seli musacha kurunyomba a system eko a health insurance, a system eko welfare. For those of you who understand this system, you know what I'm talking about. A system yabe kiraba mwamu in poverty for 2-3 generations, but abwat continues for themselves. Some of them, they cannot even take their children in college. So you are there modeling cover on welfare. Na asabana bao yagera bana bao na robaso in the system because the system looks good, but the system is structured and it is made to put the black man down. Chakira the man nimanye gocha the woman. Children don't learn by being told nga bana ba nesoma muron indon welfare nkonyora chi food stamps nga nkonyora this help and that help. Children don't learn from being told. Children learn from modeling. So amachuma, the reason why I'm addressing you, you're becoming a statistic in this country. Our men, we are very quick to adapt. When we move to a place, we adapt very fast. We have become like Americans. We want to be like Americans, but we are not Americans. But we pick this system so fast, in the system, because of the little things that you could have corrected before. Abasigali bataracha, you could have corrected before. Otarage ndechera, otarairwa ebintu muchikokwanira gaiga, otaranyora drunk driving. Maybe intanga wa corrected mokao, will say your girlfriend atarakobeka in the system. Will say using a condom, ebintu bisinini before you make children. Before you know it, you're in the system. This country, abana come first. The women come second. The dogs come number 3. Animals, iga America. Abasacha mole number 4. And you know number 4, ekeroko enda kotini, ejaji ekoro mumwamu musacho mumwamu yotenga ewiye nande ira ni go cha nyirito kuchimaigari. Ntebinga monyi wete so that way tinya we kwa ninji wika. Write something. Tinda comment inde. Likanga ntoiko igwete. Ejaji ekorikere chijaji chisoma te chiko teba ngande ubiye liye. ekero gocha ne accent bamanya otengo urwete ense ino ense ntaka third world wachire gaiga America kunya kominyoka na moka guchikotini batebene ubie bono turi black American wono gore immigrant. Amachuma, listen to me carefully. This system is created to work against you unless you're one smart man okorora ahead. You put yourself together, and if you put yourself together, mukungu ita gocha konyora ibaga musubati oye girlfriend gocha konyora ibaga ekobeke in the system. Your name will not be in the system. Okay, number one, a lot of you have bad credit. Again, to equal bad credit. Amachuma, I am speaking to you directly. Do you have good credit? Are you able to borrow? Are you able to rent a house? Are you able to have a credit card in case of an emergency? You can use your credit card. A lot of you have bad credit. So you need to evaluate yourself. If you have bad credit, you need to fix your credit. Number two, onye kwanyole tabana no monto. Bono kwa obo ile waka na child support. Are you paying your child support? Because if you're not paying that child support is eventually going to mess you up and your name is going to be in the system. If you're on welfare, also deciding at what it go to meremo because what it go back to child support, your name is going to be in the system. You will never get out of that system. If you're drinking and driving, you need to go to a lawyer, find a lawyer, you fix that problem. There is no reason never search about noiga, but drunk driving when there is Uber. There is no reason no search Kenya, Kenya, our license. Uber. Back in the day, there was no Uber. I've been here for 29 years. There were no cell phones, there were no apps, there was no Uber. Back in the day, we used to drop our men faithfully. I used to drop my husband and I pick him because I did not want him to get a DUI because you know what? It was going to cost him, it was going to cost me, and we had children. So if you have that drinking and driving problem, go and get it fixed. Again, okay, helping with chores. Amachuma, this is not a place for you to come. There is nobody here to do work for you. There is no house help here. Some of us, we did not cook until we came to America. I don't even now, I don't know how to make chapati. I pay somebody, I pay $2 for somebody to make chapati for me because I never learned how to cook. I'm able to learn how to cook mandazi. I have learned how to cook since I got married. Not the best food, not the gourmet. But my family, my husband and my children have learned to eat the food that I make every day. Over the past very many years, I had a menu. I put a menu on the fridge. I know what to cook on Monday. I know what to cook on Tuesday. I had a menu that I have raised my family with up to now. Manyeta ahead of time. Ndu seti beef, ndu seti chicken, ndu seti seafood. Every day I had a food that I set aside to cook for my children. The past 20 years, and they never changed. And on Friday, I did not cook. But there are chores that my husband did. So my husband is the one who used to do homework with the children. For those ones who want to know, Abanabane, they are 23. I have a 20-year-old, I have a 17-year-old, and a 10-year-old. So his job, while I was cooking, when we got home, his job was to do the homework with the children, akole homework. Then when the children started doing extracurricular activities, okay, we had to find who's going to drop the children, who's going to pick the children. So we had to split the chores because my husband here sarwete Nairobi, he said na mokineti na motebeti nga because he sent koruga lenga apparently Kenya. Almost such a nama itinga ikakonye. Tali koruga lakini nje I liked to make sure I make the food. On Wednesdays he could help us cook. And on Wednesdays, we used to pay somebody to make us lasagna because I don't know how to make lasagna. And you know what? We had food on Wednesdays because on Wednesday was a day for us to go to church. I did this thing for long. So some of you, you're not willing to adapt to the change. Otokonya na chores. Onye to koruga machuma, you can go to Costco kore shopping. Onye to koruga na boko enda Walmart okonye muka na food shopping. Onye to koruga na boko ira bana moge the produce junction or ire list okore shopping while your wife is cooking. So a lot of you are not helping us with the chores. A lot of you are not helping us go drop abana na go pick abana asibako enda activities. Okay. Na aligi my friend Kerubongo nkonyari beauty singo nkonyari go drop abana na go pick abana because you are not available. na join e group y'abasubati ga stomenyete abasubati abana bago ndroperi abana bampikeri abana Amachuma ndi bono liri abana bano musubati uli androperi abana mbura nimero monkale 3 to 11 abana nimero momokora 3 to 11 liriyo musubati yenyale bale home 3 to 11 yondete ira abana umusachi one no ikaransta kuri lie TV omanya gosoka liba gakoira abana street oye abana korega limaso nyomba na hando chigosaba Beatrice yegento na hando chigosaba nyale begento abasubati abato twaligiri batokonye na abana go drop and pick gosasa tutigita abana licumandira rire Texas asemoka yali ko mutuma ngachikuye abana akagenda nanda agachikorara no mareriolia na handa ali aso muntu oli okuboyeria abana na handi muaenda no mwago chikosabegento bono muri kokonya na abana na no mwago chikosabegento. A lot of you are cheating. You are cheating with our friends, you are cheating with the babysitters, you are cheating with the people that are helping your wife to raise your children because you are not willing to do that. Ngo chikokoboli kwansamba chindwe. Some of you are hitting your wives. Some of you are beating the women. Ama sase any man in America gogwaka rangilia basikali. Don't hesitate. So far musa kuligere statistics iga America abasacha abagusi na buba itira abantu. Asa abantu bali babere mada diga America. Abasacha abagusi ntutanga ine mada. Ekerongo tebanga mada. Our sister Lydia Mereba, my friend, was killed right here in New Jersey by the husband. She was killed. Telling us nobody knew. She was killed. She had been threatened. She had been told ngo itande. If you went in my inbox, Lydia was telling me this guy used to threaten her. And you know why it is so bad? He did not just kill her. He killed himself. Why? Because even him, he was hurting. He did not kill her. Henry did not kill that lady so he can enjoy life. Henry was also going through a hard time. That is why Lydia and Henry's case was so devastating. Because you know what? We underestimate when people are going through crisis. We underestimate that some of these men were so it is the reason some of them are violent. It is the reason some of them don't have an outlet. Because they are so angry. Some of them are not mentally stable. So I must say, if you're married to a man that is hitting you, call the police, let him get a psych evaluation. He's not normal. Very soon or later, he's going to kill you. A man should never put his hands on you. Aya, some of you have zero savings. Amachuma, go to your bank account, go online and log in. How much money do you have saved? Abasacha bandi mbabu ati bese bari save it no any chinsinini. Mbabu ati no any investment no any nsinini. Mbabu ati kene projects chindi chonsi bagokora. They are just drinking and cheating. Kene nkeyo bagokora. How much money do you have in your bank account? Akuruku savings. Chibe seirenga obegete in investments in projects chigo chande tobongo chikogera otabu ati chinso kunyakoraga yebirogo igoro. What projects are disturbing your heart? Ekeromo ikaransa na mokao every once a week. Projects chia uko mu update what you are doing. Onye nchene bi asara nko ni urucha na magoro yo musubati aya na magoro ye chi nko endere chiro. This is a woman here. Na bongo update mu ga konenge wiki ye timbu at profit. Next week nanyo nchenyo re profit I hope. Ekero update your wife as to progress share investment kyobwato update umongo no kwa mutaina ngaki ndobwata project A, B and C. This is how it's going. At least every married person, all married people, once a week you should sit and evaluate what your progress is. How much savings do you have? How much what is happening in your investments? Muna bono nkole mande biase molo. My husband nkole mari bitunguo na nyuki. Every week ekero tu anyore, that's digital investment. Ekero tu anyore report na bako ngoro kingalere bitunguo ebi. Na inche moro kirere biasi ebi. Frida, how are you? Salome, how are you? Mugiro ninkoroche. Tukalige senko kwa na tura mangana tokonya nega iga. Investment kyobwate. Owe karansa na moko kwa matenga, this is what I've been doing. Aya, again to Kende. Abasacha baliga America have refused to grow themselves. And I'm not saying all of you, just a few of you. You have refused to go back to school. And when I talk going back to school, you don't need to be a doctor. You don't need to be a nurse. You don't need to be an engineer. You need to take a certificate course to grow yourself. No, in nengo koraga iga. I have to do a refresher course every 2-3 days to learn nga kinko grow my business, nga kinko diversify my business. You need to grow your business. You need development. Amachuma, you're not willing no eno no ko ende se community college iga o ire no ine certificate course yoka no nyine yoko endi chigali o ire certificate course no ine yogo fixed air conditioner o ire certificate course no ine yogo fixed heater. Something. You don't need a degree, you don't need a bachelor's, you don't need a PhD. You need to do continued education. And this continued education, it does not necessarily mean even self-development, even self-growth. Naboni bitabu mbirongo soma nsako ba kadi yemo ga igampike random card ga igamba somere ene card ochikuru kuchikama card. Self-development means you go find the word balance or a balance in balance, yeah? Self-development. Imanya go chaka go so manga. This is self-development, so you can curb your emotions, so you can learn what balance is. Having balance means stimulating yourself daily in the following 5 ways. Following 5 ways of stimulating yourself is physically, emotionally, spiritually, creativity, and intellectually. Amachuma, you are missing these things. There are 5 things. In fact, and I picked a random card. These are things you need to wake up every day. Sabanya sae agokonye okolege saisi sabanya sae agokonye emotionally obuyato basa ko ito monto ndito basa go slap another woman. Agnes Kerbo, Lydia was your cousin and that was my friend. I could not believe Henry killed Lydia and killed himself. And you know we have to empathize with such people because they are not okay. Yeah? If he was okay, he could have killed her and then he enjoyed himself. He didn't do that. He killed her and he killed himself. And they left children. And the children were in the home. Remember that. So don't underestimate these anger outbursts people have. So Amachuma, wake up. Ebolinga ki physically. Mbuyande ga ege saisi mbuyango kora. Umobero nembuyole. Emotionally, you're stable. You cannot slap anybody. Spiritually, you're saba. And you imagine. Spiritually, you're saba. Nyasa na bago konyo kamchi emotions chiao. Creativity. Amachuma, you being creative. What are you coming up with? Inki kere in demand ya solo na bono ntetensi me kama na ne chinsaga. Ntalete konya. Come fall. Are you being creative? Or in the situation because how you can ESPN you konya kuligereli, news you konya kuligereli, and Facebook are you being creative? Intellectually, do you have knowledge? Argue with decorum. Inki decorum. Educate yourself. What is happening? Grow yourself. Grow your knowledge. No, college na wako nyora. Kwa nyali go chaka kora self-development ego konyo nyale komenya n'abantu bao in your family ga America. Kwarali. Abantu baito bakoro kumna chi truck driver. Right now, nimbo ata abantu abasubati bari in the inbox. Amachuma nara ko gendi chigali para atigeta abakungu kere state. Atigeta abana kere state. I have bad news for you. When all these women are going to get together naba, you're going to regret. If you're driving trucks and you dock from state to state, you come on Facebook and you tell people, I'm in New Jersey, I am in Delaware, I am in North Carolina, I am here and I'm here. If you men are on the road, don't leave women and children in each stop. That is going to come back and bite you. Onye goko endi chigali go korumwa okwa gendi chigali no wiya gendi chigali no monto go chimirum. Onye ko roche ga toko nyara commit your sexual needs. Please change your profession. Na wako kolimiru mana ne post office wacha nyumba. Anya ko bwate sex drive taliko nyara ko bakabbed. Please don't go away. Eko betereri kere state chigo dock kwa nyora bana. Kareriri a problem ya trucks that one ya chaka. Abantu bali mole bakegoli ito munyolete Rwanda Burundi trucks. Na chichi iteta abantu na chichi iteta a lot of people with HIV and AIDS. So can you imagine if you have a child in Delaware, you have a child in New Jersey, you have a child in North Carolina, you have a child in Texas. That means all these places you are not using a condom. And you know you're not using a condom. One day, Richuma, when you leave this girl in New Jersey, she's not just seeing you, she knows you're living. She's also seeing somebody else. HIV and AIDS is still there. STDs are still there. If you have a sexual desire that you cannot control, Stay home and find a job that you can come home to your wife every day, because sex drives are different. Erectile dysfunction, it is a big challenge in our men America. Erectile dysfunction monomone ekoba caused by masturbation. The more you masturbate, the more you play with yourself, the high likely you are to erectile dysfunction. Don't masturbate yourself too much. If you're having a problem with your wife, you need to seek help. You need to go for counseling. Find somebody to negotiate you so you can have proper sex. Stop masturbating, because that masturbating eventually is going to cost you your sex organ to break, because you think you're doing it, you think you're helping yourself. You're not helping yourself. Eventually, you're training your body to get an orgasm. It's in a bad way. And after a while, you are not able to satisfy your wife. It now becomes a problem. Amachuma, stop that thing. If you are having a problem with your wife, find a way to address the issue so you can enjoy your sex life as a married man. If you are single, please find somebody to start dating and eventually get someone. If you cannot control yourself. Family time. Amachuma bangbe no mubwati family time. Some of you don't have time with your wives. Some of you don't have time with your children. Some of you don't have time for yourself. Kwarore abandi mbamanye tinga tigangende na chwetuke, abandi mbamanye tinga tigangende nyesibye, abandi mbamanye tinga self care. If you cannot care for yourself, you can't care for your wife, you can't care for your children. You are not productive. Toraita Kenya minyonge uliza hii kuku ilikuwa wapi? Yes, Peter, it is true, but it's good to talk about it. You people, do you have time for your spouse? If you're married, make time for your spouse. Don't just all of a sudden expect your spouse to be loving and caring. Make time for your family. Amachuma, I am telling you now, Abasubati, we are very quick to network. Abasubati, we are very quick to adapt to change. Abasubati, we are very quick to get together, we help one another. Onye kwanyore mukao join ile group ya Abasubati, tiga kumurusi group. Onye kwanyore mukao so ile kiombegete, tiga kumurusi ororo. Muika ange because ensa siye ikira bakungu into toko get everything. Women, we can go out there. Tonyo alekende yons. In fact, yoko enda iskao montoko again. Ikamuka ange motenga ki join group ya masasi investment oyigunga nkere kikere ase group yeyo elindole tokole oto ekisemi tiago kan mokao nga tiago join ebyombe bitali biko genka mokao ta agotige ase group yeli join ti amasase tu achagita masasi. We are 30 women, and let me tell you, a group yeli tore 30 women. Out of that 30 women, abasubati baroro bari in their 50s, abande baroro bari in their 60s, abande baroro bari in their 20s. Abasubati Ekegusii tore 30 women. Amachuma, let me tell you, those men that allowed those 30 women to join that group in 2018, right now they have a property that is about to be fenced, and you know what? They have created something for their families. Allow your wife again. Let me tell you, in that group, abasubati baroba kweretu abasacha kare. Wana nabuwa basacha nabuwa bakungu. In that group nto bwate chi lawyer. In that group nto bwate chi doctor. In that group nto bwate abantu bade professional. Your wife doesn't need to be a lawyer. Ere ago chali group oboli minanga ki dokas ngaki wateba. Naicho na ira mangana alinale tero mukamba. Namote inga he mukamba ni wete. Don't stop your women from joining ebyombe. Ebyombe biri omusubati naro mungaini sana. Obwata machibonspi. It helps us to network and we learn out of those groups. That is where toko chakobakonya ko invest. That is why okonya ole banker. That is where okonya ole gynecologist. Ali group eri 30 women bali ba join it. A group ya masase. Believe me when I tell you, they are all professional women. And a group ya 30 women otware koru $100 a month. Choka is not a lot of money. Every woman in that group was giving $100. Abandi tukaira shares. You know, we were allowed to buy 3 shares. Abasubati about 30, they told us, if you can afford, take 3. Balitora America lende $300. Guess in HBS, thank you, it's nothing. I took 3. You understand? Bali ba afford bakaira 2. So you can imagine ubole mobons to golete bole genuine. Aba swat no bale mali bare chi lawyer. Aba swat no bale mali ba ward ba isekene gyonso tagete ba gote. The last time I was in Kenya, I went to have dinner with these women. First ekero tu achite kwa tobole mo. I came, I was home. Tukagenda nechi surveyor. Let me tell you, yani the way I feel nyasai we koramanyi. The way I feel achieved na because ina amenyeta America ye mono. I don't know anything in Kenya. Nkanyaranga ni chi opportunity chi investment no chikale Kenya. Tiago kani mokao nga don't join this group. Inkagenda alibono tukachaka kwa chi surveyor chigacha masase noale masasa ali sharp. Aba subatu bali Kenya bali sharp. Toga hati rubo limo 12 kilo mondo tokabeke ruchi bikoni nkarorobo amataone bono mbwato bole mogali intercollect kini gyonsi ndega iga America gonya gotoma $100 ama sase nale ngale iga America abugata $100. What stopped you from joining the group? Onyo musacho ogo kane tinge group eli open nonsense. Let me tell you, we have finished this project, we are moving to another project, and you allowed your wife to miss an opportunity that was going to benefit you. Because to tell Timokao, I join bya masase every sense. In that group, there are good women. You might not like me as a leader. You might not like me as somebody who's putting people together. But in that group, out of the 30 women, the son. In fact, they can't stand me. But you know what they did? They invested. When the title is going to come, that title is not going to be under my name. That title is going to be under their name. They don't like me, but they liked the idea. And they came into the group because they bought my idea. Where I said, you know what, let's come together and do this. You might not like the leader. You might not like your president. You might not like somebody who's team leading you. But when you join in that team, you're going to find wise people. You're going to find wise women. There are women in that group, 30 women, who are very smart. There are women in that group who are very educative. So don't stop your wife. No. When you create a group, when you find a company, you are not the one running it. There are people. We have secretaries. Leadership. When somebody is leading a group, they are not the ones who are leading the group. They are people underneath who are running this group. Do you understand? So now you whatever to mukaonga, to basako join ya masase, ebinta masase ba okola ne sana. Believe me, masase area, that group is very powerful. Can somebody join now? Frida, no. Somebody can't join now. We are working because we use KCB. And I'm giving people heads up. We use KCB. We are looking forward to create something, an investment that is going to incorporate the men. Because some of the men think, we want the men who are willing to do investments to join with us. We want to allow the men to be with us, but you know, when we start, they are not going to be in leadership. They are just going to be as members, and then we continue because we already have a leadership team. And those men, with time, we can see who belongs where, because it is a functional organization and it is working perfect. We are not going to change much. And eventually, once the men come in, we are not going to use volunteers. We are going to employ people to run the organization. So when we use employees, they can deal with Amachuma, because Amachuma are very hard to deal with. Amachuma, who's going to deal? Me, I can't. There is no woman who's going to deal Amachuma. We used volunteers and we were fine. But the moment we incorporate the men, we cannot use the volunteers. We have to pay someone. Somebody who's paid is going to be patient, to be argued with, and they are going to be professionals, and they are going to be lawyers. They will be talking to lawyers. They can't talk to us. We can't talk to them. That's why we want to put something together for Amasase na Amachuma, so that way it is run professionally. You understand? You people are good, but when you guys start arguing, hey, we can't argue with you guys, especially me with my mouth. I will just talk, and then I will piss you off. But if we pay somebody to run the organization, they'll have patience for you. Because a lot of men, our men, have a temper. They are quick to get upset. And we accept that. I mean, but we cannot do it professionally. We want somebody who's trained. When you call a lawyer, they have time to explain to you. But the women group, we are running it peacefully with volunteers. And I have said it over and over that we look forward to do something. And we are going to ask the men also, whatever money we ask to put, we are going to put that money. Once KCB puts something for us together, we are going to ask our members to open a bank account. And you know, Richuma Laban Opande is very good with helping us to open bank accounts. Laban is a lawyer too. Amachuma alimu anyorrevi ntebina kwande child support, drunk driving. Amachuma alimu asaliri paperwork, you know. You can consult with the Laban Opande. He can help you, you know, bring your life together so you can do something for yourself. We also have Gladys Michieka. She's also a lawyer. At least we are so grateful that we have two professional lawyers here in America, Nabaliba Kenya Mbarororo, who can help us do something. Na andina to do that $100 kero monto. Also to $200 kero monto. In fact, to aga chena to aga chirege ntogege okora charity. Na tutake kora for profit. To sakuru $100 to be keno yene practice sport complex. Amachuma ino ntorigo chikobainsa. In fact, moto tebi mogocha moikaranse kena smikiri na weli basabuli na gumokirikiri moruchwese ino. Mubasa ukwana ke ombu imokirikiri oweka manche mun. And you know, when I floated this idea, some of Amasase did not take it seriously. And now it happened and we are done. So now, even the world has changed. Amachuma, the world has changed. Women have taken over. If God has blessed you with a wife, moika yange, motebie, na aneli sasidi ya ona litabo mousi, nye konyomete kabila, moka ono mogere, moka ono moikoyo, moka ono mokamba. We allow them to join. In that group, Yamasase ya 30 women, muswati naro muluya, also kereto mousi. We embrace them. Motebia join ye group Yamasase, tubuatira namo, where we can support them. And you know where, onye bale New Jersey, batebi tubamente group. Onye bale Texas, babe tu group Yamasase. Chi state chons Kenya sama sasale, teimuka au na abo mogerache galia, elinde bintu togo kora gusi, bikoleki, binyale ko bakonye buno musacho mu gusi, mbo basagutigara maiganya sawo yo, ganda abaire ni mugondo. Nchoma nyete ndi kusema na kutenda, bono iganeli na unta etensimeke, Echi nsaga abantu bali muri New Jersey Amachuma bali mutabu ati abakungu bako barwaserichi bako barugera bako basimekera chingeni mubeta yale mbao neli amanagu nechi amanagu nechi nsaga nechi nyanya chiro chichiaelere lakini kusema na kutenda tataga agatebire nga ekero bwato butaka bwobongo aino muntu chandegete gutwara butaka bwobongo negenteke sana Amachuma nyako bwato butaka bwobongo Saranya saya ko igorere njera otwaro obo chisemi cyobongo ekaroro butaka bwobongo you cannot do anything keko era abandi muri broke yabona mbalete mugondo nora mugondo yo bono kwane nalega ewilbareli iga echine chinsaga natugora rero arorega chinsaga obo tuobo na turobo tu nirenchi kuomia iga no krambegete noro chokra yanega very nice okra okra iga ni chinyanya echi chiasire kuroro hard work pays Amachuma you have to work hard chinsage chingotogora and chance ono iga nkole mambekeli nago echi ne chibiribiri iga ndete mbekeli na ugabono nkwira nande rero iga onsi iga lina gunkobeka okay iga mata mbeke chinsaga chinsaga mbeke iga uroche abantu abange bali metega iga talinga nabasubati abantu abange bali metega iga na Amachuma umusacha nale kanda abaro kibwango ga umusacha nale chikabichi echi na harvest no chikabichi echi wono nko endanduga abantu bane baragire kabichi echi okoragira woka tindi guchikonya kogora igabano na seviri nyole chibese mbe kama amasase nkore investment enemegondo y'abantu ocha ndayitemba oroki chinyanya chirega echi ni chinyanya umuntu asimigeta abana abasacha boka in fact bakungu mbali baya natakamba oroki chi watermelon echi roro umuntu oyo simigeta chi watermelon na chiamire oroche chi watermelon aya nama manyabwali arali anyway aso bwengenya sao yo tiangira ne mugondo abasacha koromoki hard work pays kende nkeyo kire busa tiga ko kripo mokao gumotamwala wakole kyabone takole empower mokao motebi ngumungine bintebi byaso irega igagenda genda bwatya okole twekonye mungi none genda chia your wife chia your wife nali ara koletere ebintu ebya ocho botuo bontaite ndusiga nkoleke ngende nchiko kubomi nyasa oyo have a lovely weekend amachuma nto banchete without you ntoko abaiboli without you you are our brothers, without you you are our children. Do something for yourself, grow yourself. Onye wacha kwanyare video you halfway, go back and listen to this video. Better yourself. Stand up for the challenge and do something for yourself. Tiga go chaga iga America kunyando chibiro chakobe ubima. Tiga go korugo Kenya umanye go chaga igo chakuiru echera iga America. Oro mutako tabwa tichibese. Chichi wono bunabone shilingi gere. 1 shilling is $105. $1 is $105. Amachuma, do you know how much you can do with that money? If I tell you to give me $300 a month, is that a lot of money go konya ba iriba o Kenya? If all of us come through 100 shillings, $100 to so mi abana, is that hard? But most of us are so caught up in having to vitali go to Konya, and that's why we are not growing, because you know we are so busy. A system ya ba meriri. A system where once you are committed, you are not going to be able to come out. Nyasao, you have a lovely weekend. Jetiganda irana mugondo.